my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to our very first 30-minute Thursdays. We're going to try this out and I'm going to see what you guys think. My thought behind this is that we're going to work on the larger tiles, the 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch paper tiles from Zentangle.com, and we will combine tangles we have already learned in the 15-minute videos. So maybe I'll show you an enhancement of that tangle or a variation of that tangle, and then we will combine it with other tangle patterns that we have learned. So the idea is just that we get to explore a little bit more and just have fun in a different setting than just the 15 minutes. So what I would like to do is do a half-hour video today, and then we will not finish the tile today in this session. And then in a week, I will do part 2. And then we will work another half an hour and we will finish it up and we will add some shading, and then the tile will be complete. So it will take 2 half-hour sessions to complete each tile. And I really want your feedback on this. I want to know if you like it or don't really like it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so today I'm using a micron pen. Any pen will work. This happens to be a PN, plastic nib pen. I have a graphite pencil for some drawing and shading, and a little blending tool called a tortillon. And as I said before, I'm using a 3.5 inch tile from Zentangle. So typically I work on, let me grab one. I work on these little bijou tiles that are just a 2 inch by 2 inch, so much smaller. This is a little bit bigger. You can use anything that you have on hand and any paper will work. Today we're going to do Aaliyah. I hope to get to some Muka, and we're going to add fescue. 3 fun names and fun tangles. Okay, let's flip this over. We're going to pick up our pencil and we're going to begin by putting a dot in each of the 4 corners. And then we're going to connect those dots with a line. I am doing straight lines today. And then I'm going to divide up the center. So for today, I'm going to divide it in half this way and down the center this way. It doesn't have to be perfect. However you break it up is fine. And this is just going to give us some different areas to work in. Okay, I'm going to continue with my pencil for a few minutes and then we'll switch to pen. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to put a diagonal line in that very first box. And to make Aaliyah, we start with a heart. And I want my heart to go at least to the middle of this section, maybe even over it a little bit. So I just put a little dash in there so I knew where to go. And I'm just going to make a big round heart that's going to hit this side over here and come down. And then this way and come down. And then I'm going to go inside this heart and I'm going to drop it down and do a little curve and drop it down and do a little curve that way. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this next part before I switch to ink, and you'll see why in just a minute. So I'm going to put a little bump on the top of each of these. And then I'm going to follow it all the way around. This is called an aura. And I'm going to follow this one all the way around, making that cute little heart. Okay, the reason I had you do it in pencil is because I want to play a little bit with this tangle Aaliyah. So when we did it before, we did the four corners. And so the next one would just go right here. But I want to kind of connect these areas to the next one. So instead of using the center grid line, I'm actually going to draw a little line right there. So I just went to that inside line and then I came and drew a line there. And then the same thing going this way, I'm going to go to that inside line and I'm going to draw a line there. And that's going to be the outside of my next heart. So I'm going to turn mine around. And I'm going to add this diagonal line. And now to make the heart, I'm going to go to this outside line. The heart's going to be larger than this, and that's okay. That's kind of the fun of this. So I'm going to come, I want to go about halfway still. So I'm going to go up and around, but I'm going to come down to this line here. Go up and around and down to that line, that outside line. We're doing this in pencil so you can fix it or play with it. Put in that little U shape on each side. Put on a little cap. And then come down and around to here. And around and down to here. Okay, hopefully you've got that. I'm going to switch it back to how it was. This is just a fun way to kind of combine this one tangle to a copy of itself and just sort of have them hooked together. Okay, so now I'm going to start inking it in, and I'm going to start with this little inside line here. But then I'm going to continue all the way around. And keep going. Doesn't that look cool? So now when I do the next one, I'm just going to lift my pen and jump to the other side when I get to this line. So I'm going to start with the inside and jump over. And I jump again. There we go. So we're actually making an Aaliyah here and Aaliyah over here. I love how those connected together. All right, I'm going to continue with my pen and we'll just finish up this one first. So now I'm going to put a round orb or a circle. Right there. I'm going to put a little oval on the top for a reflection. And then I'm going to ink in this little circle. Okay. All right, the next part of this, if you want to do this in pencil first, you can, but we need to put this petal shape around this. So I'm going to start in this corner, and I'm going to dip down, touch the side, and then come back down here. So I go down a little bit, touch the side, and come down, kind of like I'm making a leaf. I'm going to go down, touch the side, and tuck all the way under. So down, touch the side, and go down. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, so when we made this last week, we put these little floating petals in here, and I want to change it just a little bit. So I'm actually going to put an aura around my orb. And if I've got room down here, I can continue it down there. This is just a variation. And I'm going to put a petal up here that's going to go up and touch the top and come down. Then I'm going to do one on each side, touching the top and coming down. I've got room for one more. And just do whatever you have room for. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to put ink on these extra spaces. When we made this the last time, we put the ink on the outside. Every time you see a tangle, I want you to remember that there are so many ways that you can change the tangle. And that is the hope, is that you play with it and make it your own, add your own details, your own spin on things. Keep on filling this in. I'm going to fill in this little spot under the orb. And this area. Oh, I love how that looks. So last week we just put some stripes down in here, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that again. If you want to do something else in here, go ahead, but I kind of like just those little thin lines. Feel free to do whatever you like. Enjoy making each line. Do it intentionally. Don't rush. And then there's lots of things that you can do inside these petals. So if you have a favorite pattern, go ahead and put it in there. I think I'm going to aura the inside of each petal, and then I'm going to put in a line with a colored in circle on top. Aura the inside, a line in a circle. Do what you like. Okay, we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. And we're going to repeat the same thing. If you want to change it, you can, but I'm just going to have mine match. So I'm going to start by putting in this orb right here, adding a little reflection and coloring it in. And I'm going to put an aura around that while I'm thinking about it. And then I need to do that petal shape that goes around the outside. And I did that by starting at that corner. And remember, I come down and then I bump out and hit the side and then come back down and tuck it into that heart shape. So I'm going to go down a little, bump out to the side, and come down. Go down, bump out to the side, and come down. I'm going to put a petal at the top. I like starting in the center and then making them a little bit more even on the sides. So one on each side. And then if I have room, I'm going to do another one. And then I'm going to color in the extra space. I like using these PN plastic nib pens because they can write very delicate, but they also have enough thick ink in them that I can color things in without feeling like it's going to take me a long time. Otherwise, I might switch to an 08 to do my coloring. I've got one more little section, and then I filled in that little section underneath the orb as well. This little spot down here. Okay, I'm going to add in my lines. And these I want to go nice and slow and keep them nice and close together. I also want to make sure that I touch this line and touch this line. I don't want a gap in between. Do the other side. There we go. And now I'm going to do the same pattern on here, but you can do something different if you would like. But I'm going to do the aura, a line, and a colored in little circle. An aura, a line, and a circle. One more. Look at that. That is so cool. And I think this was my top over here. There we go. Oh, I love it so far. All right, we've got about 8.5 minutes left in this video. So we're going to add a little bit of muka. We won't add a lot of muka this time. I'll save some of that for next week, but we'll get started. So muka is a fun one, but it's a little bit tricky if you haven't done it before. So muka. And this is how I make my muka. I make a curve and a circle. I make my circle tuck in there a little bit, and then I come down and I connect them. Another way to make muka is to make that circle and then do a little bump and then come down. So that's another cute way to make muka. I just prefer this way. And if you make muka the Zentangle way, this is really fun. Let me see. We would go like this, but when we got to the bottom, we would then go back up over here and make the next one, and then go up this way, and then go this way, like that. Isn't that cool? So lots of variations of muka. Okay. So I thought it would be fun to put some muka coming out this side and this side. So I'm just going to make a couple and then we're going to be done for today. I'm going to go ahead and just sort of envision what I want. So I could curve my muka in this way, or I could curve it outwards. There's so many variations. I think I'm going to curve mine out. So I'm going to put in this curvy line like that. And then we're just going to make a giant circle. Tuck it in there a little bit, and then I come down to a point. Okay, I'm going to do another one. This one does not have to match. It can go the opposite way, but I think I'm going to go ahead and match it. But I am going to change the size a little bit because I don't want these mukas to look as organized and symmetrical as this. I want it to have a different look to it. So I'm going to come out this way, and maybe I'll even bump right into that. Go up a little ways and come down. purposely making them not exactly symmetrical. All right, I'm going to do one more. So for this one, and if you want to do it with your pencil first, just so you've got an idea where it's going to end up, you can. I'm going to do another one that's going to come up right over here. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to jump my pen up. And if it tucks behind, that's okay. All right, and now I'm going to stop. Feel free to finish this title if you want and continue on, but I'm thinking this is good enough for today. And then part 2, we'll finish our muka on both sides, and then we'll add some fescue and some other little enhancements and do some shading. So I hope that you enjoyed that 30 minutes. I hope that it felt relaxing and not too rushed or too difficult. And if you like these videos, let me know so we can keep these going. But thank you so much for following. Please like it. Please subscribe. It helps me get these videos out to other people. And if you want to share your work, I am on Facebook at Let's Tangle. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.